Before we go to the video, let me show you what's happening. We will be learning how to send emails with attachments and embedded images and HTML. Let's go!
Jungle and Python, JavaScript, tutorials for Jamie, this is Silva.
What the fuck, HTML?
There's only C.
Hello everyone and welcome to another Python video. Today, let's learn how to send emails using Python. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, and it's been around there for many years. Now, about the credentials, we will need an email, and a password, and I will be getting this from Gmail. So it's not just your normal email that you use to log in and your password, it's a specific password that you get from Gmail. Anyway, that's for the example. You can use any other email service provider, but for this video, we'll go with Gmail. I'm already going to download the image and the PDF. We will be using it to include the image in the content of the email and the PDF as an attachment. Link in the description in case you want to follow from there. You are super welcome. Now I'm gonna drag this to my other screen and create a Python script. Let's start by defining the SMTP server. Now for Google, this is smtp.gmail.com. The SMT port 587. We will be using TLS later. And the username. So the username is going to be your Google email or any other email service provider you are using. And finally, the password. Now, this is not your email password, it's a password that you get from your Google account. And let's do that already. So, go to a Google account and in account, look for app passwords. App passwords, click on it. It's gonna make you verify yourself. Create an app. I'm gonna name this Python. Create, copy that, and take it to the Python script. That's it. Alright, let's continue. Let's already import some stuff, such as import smtplib. You don't need to install this, it comes with Python. Also from email.message, let's import email message. And already we can import the pathlib path. From pathlib, import path. We will need that later. Alright, now let's start creating our email. Let's do message is equal to email message. So it's coming from here. Now we can define in this message things like from. Where is this email coming from? And I will set it to be this username with this email. So username. Then to, this is where you are sending your email to. I'm gonna put my other email so we can check that. And the subject. So this is going to be the title on your email, the subject. So example of an email with some content. That's good for a test. Now after this, there is an interesting thing about SMTP. This technology came up uh, in the 80s, and in the 80s there was no HTML.
With this
So
video program, you'll learn faster than by using only the manuals. As a matter of fact, by the time this program is finished, you'll have learned all the fundamentals necessary for years of successful IBM
there were no browsers, no HTML, so people were sending text to each other through an email, plain text. Now, all of the browsers have HTML, but we still define a plain text message. So let's do that. Message set content, and in here you can say your email client does not support HTML. Now, this is very rare that it will be the case, but it's a good practice to always define the plain text message. Then comes the HTML. Let's define a variable for HTML with a triple quote. And now let's create a simple HTML for this. HTML body, and inside we can put some paragraph with some text. Ever make mistakes in life? Let's make them birds. Someone once said. Alright, that should be enough for a test. Now we need to include this in the message. And it goes like this. Message add alternative, the HTML, the subtype with HTML. So what happens in here, let me maximize that. Now what's happening in here is that it will first try to see if your browser executes HTML. If it does, it will display the HTML, this HTML. If it doesn't, it will simply display this plain text message. So the HTML is the alternative actually. Now let's test this already. Let's create a try and accept. And if for some reason this fails, let's print the error. And let's hope it's not failing. But now with smtplib dot smtp, smtp server, smtp port as server, let's start the TLS. Start TLS for secure communications. Server.login. Username and password. And in here, keep in mind that the from needs to match the login, alright, or else Google will consider this spoofing. And finally, server.send message and pass in the message. That's good. We are ready to test this, and in the command line, let's just execute our Python script. Now in here we can see it's the HTML we have defined earlier. That's good, but what if we want to include a attachment such as a PDF? It's simple. Let's take a look on how to do that. Let's define a comment around here, attachment, and define the path for the file, so file path, and because it's on the same folder, it's just going to be the name. File data, it's going to be path, file path, and then read the bytes, so we get the binary. Now it's a matter of including the attachment in message. Let's do that. Message, add attachment, file data for the content. Let's define a main type as application. The subtype, we say it's the PDF, and at last the file name is going to be the same as the file path for this case. It's that simple. Now when we send this email, it should include the PDF as an attachment. Let's try that. It's sent, and here it is, and here is the sample PDF. Let's continue, and one final thing before we end the video, let's learn how to embed images in the email. Now you could put a link, like you could put an image in here and say that the source would be HTTP, like some image from around the internet, it doesn't matter. But let's learn how to really send images in the email, and it's quite simple too. So for here, image, another comment, let's define image data and get his logo, could be anything. Let's use path logo.png, and again read the bytes to get the binary version. Then let's create an HTML part, get the payload, now the payload returns multiple things: the plain text, the HTML, the images in it. The second position of the list, it's the HTML. HTML part dot add related image data. Main type this time is going to be image. Subtype, we can define it as PNG, and the CID will be used in the HTML. So if we define it to be logo, then the source of the image is going to be CID column logo. And it's that simple. You can include as many images as you want. I didn't test with that many, but it should be fine. One final test to see if it's really working, and send the email, wait for it. Here it is, and here is the image. That's it for this video. I hope you find it valuable. I hope you like it, and let me know if there's something that you still want to know. You can comment, you can say hello, and I want to say thank you for all the support I've been getting, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!